What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming! My number 5 favorite tabletop gaming terrain, Terraclips. Unfortunately, Terraclips are no longer printed, which is why they're only at the bottom of my list. I found this to be very sturdy, good cardboard. After having them for 12 to 14 years, they're only just now showing signs of a little bit of warping. Beautiful inside, outside, double-sided art that is used in these cardboard pieces to make the walls and the floors, the buildings, and they are in two forms in most cases. Some of them look rather clean, while others look a little rough and broken up. And I like the way the two forms work together. Is definitely well thought out, especially with the larger street editions. The layouts to these buildings are extremely modular and allow you a great room of latitude to plan and play around with your build. And it's always going to look just a little bit gritty. I like that as well. It uses light gray colored clips to hold everything together. The clips do a very good job of blending in with the background. They have done tests over the years, I remember, saying that they actually worked better than clear. So they're the ones that did the test. I didn't, but I do know that I tend to find them, yes, they do blend in nicely to the background, and they don't stand out that much. Now, as with all good terrain pieces and set designs, you're going to have a lot of creativity and room to grow whatever set it is that you need to do. From city streets to buildings to sewers, this does cover a lot of fantasy gaming and low-tech gaming world design needs. Personally, I would very much love to see that this company resurrects this system of the Terraclips. I think that there is more than enough room in the market for them to be able to survive and continue putting out good products. My number 4 favorite tabletop gaming terrain, Tenfold Dungeon. This is indeed the Russian nesting doll of tabletop terrain. It is very strong, very sturdy, heavy cardboard boxes of various sizes and lengths. And because of this, it is very, very fast to set up. There's a wonderful selection of different types of terrains as well that you can find by this company, from fantasy / low-tech and sewer designs right up to sci-fi stuff. And it's ever growing. Hopefully we're going to be seeing more coming out soon. It uses a clever clip-on door system that I found enjoyable, that is very good at clipping the different boxes, the scene you are building, clipping it all together in an extremely natural, organic-looking way. There are no real clips to see. There's nothing standing out for the eye, because where they are clipped is exactly where a door would be put into the design. So it hides it excellently. Now, these are just boxes, but because of the different lengths and the different shapes of the boxes, you are going to find a great deal of latitude in what and how you want to build. In fact, I have found one box, one of the tenfold dungeon boxes, covers a standard folding picnic table that you would buy out of like Target. And if you watch any of my playthroughs, that is the exact table I'm talking about you see in my playthroughs. One of these boxes will pretty much cover the entire thing with one single level. That's amazing. And another thing that's amazing is the coloration, the coloring, the inking that they did with these boxes. And I particularly mean this in light of, well, their lighting. The use of lighting in the art on these boxes is breathtaking. It is awe-inspiring. It is definitely one of the best uses of lighting and light that I've ever seen used on terrain. It is wonderful. It is an amazing job that they've done. Because of the carry box that it comes in, and as I said, one box will cover a standard 6x3 table, you're talking about a very portable game terrain system here. One box covers one table for a level. You don't find this level of portability, especially being so lightweight that this is only cardboard, in most or really any other of the terrain companies. And that, I think, is a standout. I'm always looking forward to seeing what is coming out next by Tenfold Dungeon. I can't wait to see what's up next. My number 3 favorite tabletop gaming terrain. Battle Systems. This company easily goes beyond just scene building for your RPG. This involves real, full world building, from multiple levels of dungeons and sewers to the above city streets. If you're looking for something cheaper than plastic, that's cardboard and durable, that is pre-made to create entire world scenes, Battle Systems is what you need to look at. It is very durable. It is very gorgeous to look at. The double-sided, full detail cardboard art that they do. And it covers multiple different terrain settings that you could be gaming in, from fantasy to sci-fi to even modern sets that they have out for buildings and streets. If you're playing a modern apocalyptic game, if you're playing a Star Wars, Star Trek game, or Space Hammer, if you're playing fantasy like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinders, this company has all the different terrain settings that you're going to need. And again, being high quality cardboard, it'll be a little bit cheaper than the plastic stuff. Now, if you want to delve even further with Battle Systems, not only is this a terrain company, but they have their own RPG system as well that is obviously fully supportive of their own terrain setting pieces. Beautifully so, absolutely beautifully so. Something that you need to look into, I think. Now, this system uses not clear, but very small gray clips. They do tend to blend in rather well and become sort of invisible once you're used to the system and you're in the middle of the game. You're not really going to notice them, so it does help you stay in that suspension of disbelief. This company also has a very healthy system for support system for scatter stuff. Unlike many of the other companies, they do heavily rely on giving you almost as much scatter pieces from everything from stray pieces of wood and spears, to boxes, chairs, tables, and again, throughout all of the different genres, fantasy, sci-fi, and modern setting. And that is a great boon, I think. Not just having, the building, But now you're able to populate the building with furniture and scatter, and it's all from the same company, so it's going to match. Visually, it's going to match and look alike. It is definitely one of the systems that I keep my eye on regularly, and I'm waiting with bated anticipation always to see what they're coming out with next and what of it I can use for my upcoming game. My number 2 favorite tabletop gaming terrain, Monster Club Scenery. Wow, this is very sturdy and lightweight pre-painted plastic terrain. Wonderfully so. Very lightweight, very durable, and compatible with each other. Things can come off and go on with each other, as I'll mention coming up. It is a great collection of modern and sci-fi terrain, as well as foresty. Yeah, forest stuff from boulders, full hills, rocks, to trees. And the trees, as I was just hinting at, are wonderful because you can take the foliage off, and it will be a bare tree, a haunted tree, or maybe just a winter tree for your gaming system. And that is really wonderful. You can also stack the trees leaf parts on top of each other to actually make it larger, to make it a bigger, taller tree. Now, for those of you out there that really do love painting your miniatures and your terrain, don't worry, because Monster Club Scenery does have even more unpainted options than they do the painted options for you to get into. But whichever one you want, it's going to be an amazing piece sitting on your table, adding to the terrain visual effect that you are building. Now, getting back to some of the cool scenery stuff, another thing that they do is their trees, especially their verdant forest trees, and their pine trees. They have 2 different versions of. They have for the regular trees, they have the autumn trees, as well as the standard, I guess you would call it the verdant or the summer trees, right? And for the others, they have them. They have winter, snow on it, or no snow on your pine trees, which is very, very visually effective when you are trying to set up, whether it is winter or summer. Most of the other companies don't go that far to add seasonal differences to their pieces, so I appreciate that Monster Scenery has done that. There is a large selection of sci-fi, apocalyptic, as well as a modern terrain and scatter available from this company. I particularly am a big fan of the fences as well as the cargo crates. I think they are wonderful additions to many games that I run, but there are so many other pieces that they do have that fit that same exact category. As mentioned at the beginning, and I want to mention it again because it is true, these are lightweight, but they are very, very good and durable pieces. I've had them myself at this point for several years, and I have no problem with any of them breaking or chipping at all. So I'm proud of that. Because of the way these are set up, because of what they are, I find these to be great accessory pieces for other terrain settings. Like you may have anything that I've mentioned before, from the Terraclips to the tenfold dungeons to the battle systems, building out your buildings and your terrain setting, but then you look at your Monster Club Scenery for just that, for the scenery around your terrain, for the trees, for the bushes, for the fences, and things like that. And that brings the other terrain pieces to life even more. They work well playing off each other. I love having them to add on. My number 1 favorite tabletop gaming terrain, Warlock tiles. These are absolutely brilliant and fast to put together with the hidden clip system that goes inside the pieces so that you're never going to see anything clip at all on your table with this terrain. They have so much, the huge universe, you could say, of available pieces for your table and for your designs, from wonderful plaster and timber housing tiles that come in both a fresh new and a kind of busted gritty version. They have great stone if you're looking for a dungeon or just a basement kind of buildings for it. They have that. They have a great collection of just about everything and anything that you can imagine. They're building up their collection so much at this point, from city streets to sewer systems. They really have a lot. I'm waiting. If it hasn't come out already, because this is filmed several months ahead of time, but I am still waiting to see if they advance into a sci-fi selection of stuff. One of my favorite aspects about this is, there are mainly two types of terrain lovers out there for D&D style games, and that is the half height and the full height. 1-inch walls on these dungeons and buildings, or the full 2-inch. I am so happy that this company does give the option for both. I am a huge fan of the 2-inch wall system, and when I had seen that they had 2-inch walls, originally I hadn't seen that, and as soon as I caught on with that, I was sold on this system. They have a very, very full collection of curved and angled walls that you can get for your collection. And not just angled like L, I mean sharp angles. And that's very good too. At the time of the filming of this, they only have them available in 1-inch height, however. I'm hoping that does change. Maybe by the time this is dropped, it's already changed. And if not, maybe shortly after it will. Although these are plastic, I do find them more affordable than most of the other companies out there that produce hard plastic pieces. They are also very light and durable. So putting the two of them together makes these a great buy for you. I've had them for several years now, and only one piece has actually broken, where the bottom has fallen out, and I was able to fix that. So I have a great run and great respect for the durability of these pieces. Now, something I prefer with this system that a lot of the others don't do, especially the hard plastic or resin companies out there, and that's the fact that the walls are built differently than the floors. So the walls attach to the floors, or should I say the floor attaches to the side of the wall. And this might not sound like a big deal, but by doing this, it creates a full 1-inch space in that hallway or in that room. While many other, full sets, when you get them, they may have a pre-made hallway piece, and the walls are always put on the floor. So the 1-inch spaces are never quite really 1 inch. They fall a little short of that. And it gets a little tight when you're moving your miniatures in there when they're side by side. Let's say in a 10-foot wide hallway. So this fixes that. And that was another huge selling point to me, was the fixing of the hallway and the room spaces in comparison to the walls. With the floor attaching to the wall instead of the wall attaching onto the floor, it makes a world of difference. I have found these comparable, and I've told the guys several times already, that Warlock tiles are like Lego for D&D. And I mean that 100%. And those are my 5 favorite tabletop gaming terrains.